Cadets, this is your first Starfleet Academy mission. Several star systems are threatened by drifting minefields. Your job is to destroy the mines and to capture the devices controlling them. Further instructions will be sent to you as your mission progresses. Now, Mr. Forrester, we need you to choose your vessel. The more powerful your vessel, the more difficult the scenario will become.
I'd like the Oberth-class vessel.
An Oberth-class ship? That will be a challenge.
I'd like a Miranda-class ship.
Miranda-class? This should be interesting.
I'd like a Constitution-class.
I'm fond of the Constitution-class myself. Good luck, cadets. The Kelsey Collective, a culture which died over 100,000 years ago, marked their territory with highly radioactive marker buoys. As with all Kelsey artifacts, Federation law prohibits their removal from that system, and we have several probes monitoring any activity that may endanger their status. Recently, our probe in the Huron system malfunctioned. It is your mission to replace that probe. In addition to that duty, cadets, you are to protect the artifacts of the Kelsey Collective at all costs. Cadet, your actions failed to save a world. Despite the Kazak's actions, Starfleet does not condone its murder, Cadet. You should have worked harder to capture the Kazak and bring its captain to justice. During the mission, many unforeseen circumstances occurred. However, you were sent to launch a probe into the Huron artifacts field. You failed to meet your objectives. You were ordered to destroy the radioactive buoy before it hit the planet. You followed those orders to the letter. Unfortunately, the orders were in error. Starfleet should never have ordered you to destroy the artifact. I hope that Starfleet will never give you another order as badly flawed as this one. But we want captains to have wisdom and maturity. You need to know when orders should be executed or when they should be questioned. Starfleet ordered you to destroy a radioactive artifact. Instead, you deliberately disobeyed orders and returned it to the place where it was stolen. Starfleet doesn't like its orders to be blatantly disobeyed, except when they are as obviously flawed as those were. Well done, Cadet. Good afternoon, class. We have a guest speaker today, an expert on Klingon affairs, Captain James T. Kirk.
Thank you, Commandant Rotherham. I'd like to say that I'm honored to teach these fine young cadets. There is a serious situation on the Klingon border. A small Klingon and Romulan combined fleet has crossed the neutral zone and is advancing on Epsilon 4. Now, there's some bad blood between the Epsilon colonists and the Klingons for decades. We believe the Klingons are planning some sort of punitive action against the colony. That still doesn't explain why they're working with Romulans. It will be up to you to protect the Epsilon system until reinforcements arrive without starting a war. Do not return to base until you get authorization from Starfleet. Dismissed. Starfleet has just sent their condolences to the family of the late Governor Ryan. Fortunately, this was just a simulation, and you have a chance to get back to the simulator and do it right this time. There are a lot of Starfleet captains who'd like that chance in the real world. You return to Starfleet before safeguarding the sectors from the Klingons. In violation of your instructions, listen more carefully next time. Your mission was to safeguard the planet and freighters in the surrounding systems, but that didn't happen, did it? Well, Cadet, we all learn from our mistakes. You've done well, Cadet. The Governor was saved, and so were the freighters. Your crew works well together, in spite of their occasional bickering. Not bad, Cadet. At least you saved the Governor. Welcome back again, Cadets. Our intelligence believes that Governor Kumas, the Klingon commander behind the attack on Pascal II, is acting without the sanction of the Klingon High Council. On top of that, there's been a battle between one of the Romulan warbirds that raided Pascal II and two of our ships, the USS Demeter and the USS Alexandria. Unfortunately, the Demeter was destroyed in the battle. The Romulans' warp engines were damaged as well. you will join the Alexandria and the USS Rutherford in their search for the damaged Romulan. If we're lucky, we'll catch her before she can repair her engines and warp out of the system. Good luck. Our records indicate that you returned to Starbase before the completion of the mission. Starfleet expects its orders to be obeyed whenever possible. You were sent out with 2 Miranda-class ships. Both were lost. We're not impressed. You have done exceptionally well on this mission. Dealing with a cloaked Romulan ship is one of the most difficult tasks you'll ever have to face.
We have a serious problem developing on the galactic rim. Unknown raiders have been attacking freighters in the Montgomery and Churchill systems. You will patrol 4 systems: Mountjoy, Montgomery, Allendon, and Churchill. Start with the second planet in each system, then proceed to the next. When you've patrolled all 4 systems, return to Starbase 11. Good luck. During this scenario, you fired on a freighter, even after it surrendered. I don't know what you were thinking, Cadet, but you failed the scenario. Your primary objective in this scenario was to protect Federation shipping and to learn the identity of the raider. You failed in both tasks. This mission required you to perform a patrol, which involved going to 4 planets. While this may seem minor compared with some of the other things that were happening, Starfleet expects its orders to be obeyed. Because you failed to follow this order, you failed the scenario. Well done, cadets. Your actions have brought the Venturi out into the open. It has not, however, ended their raiding, nor have you discovered the source of their technology. We'll be continuing that part of the scenario in our next mission. Venturi raiders have stepped up their campaign against Federation sectors on the galactic rim. We're going to try to stop them. The Venturi have been using the Abyss Nebula as an escape route after their raids, using special transponders to navigate within the cloud. Your assignment is to enter the nebula, go to the Alpha CN625, Beta CN625, and Gamma CN625 systems. Find each transponder and disable them. When all transponders have been disabled, return to Starbase 23. Be warned, cadets, that the heavy ionization in the Abyss Nebula reduces the shield and sensor integrity to 1/3 of their normal effectiveness. Good luck. Sometimes a captain has good reason to surrender. In this situation, none of them applied. The Venturi offered to surrender to you. Let me make Starfleet's policy clear. A surrender is a surrender and should be accepted as such. The Venturi surrendered to you in this mission. Following their surrender, you fired on them without provocation. That's unacceptable conduct and an automatic failing grade. This isn't an easy simulation, cadets. It says something about you that you passed it. Well done. The Venturi operations in the area around the Abyss Nebula have been terminated. However, we still do not know who is supplying the Venturi with their technology. Perhaps you'll get to encounter more leads in your next mission. Cadets, dismissed. The actions of the Venturi raiders are not popular with the majority of the people on Venturi home. Several Venturi diplomats are aboard the USS LaGrange. You will escort the LaGrange to Omega 12300, which the diplomats report is the headquarters for the Venturi raiding force. There, they will attempt to negotiate a settlement. There is a problem. Omega 12300 is beyond the galactic barrier, a mysterious energy field that encompasses the known galaxy. You will have to penetrate the barrier in order to reach the Venturi. This is an extremely dangerous area that's known to have dangerous side effects on some of the people traveling through it. So be careful. One of your duties is to defend the Federation facilities. You were present when Starbase 23 was destroyed. That would make you subject to mandatory investigation and a possible court-martial should you be found guilty of negligence. One of your mission goals was to provide intelligence on the Venturi base at Omega 12300. You failed to do so. and so you've been given a failing grade. You destroyed Venturi Base 12300. While it was a threat to the security of the Federation and unarmed, nothing should be as important to a Starfleet officer as his respect for life. It is better to be compassionate than efficient, principled than effective. During the mission, a starbase was attacked. You responded to this attack by warping out of the system during the battle. Whatever your reasoning was, you failed to help an ally in need. I have a special commendation for you. While at Omega 12300, you scanned the derelict vessels that the Venturi are using as their craft. We now know much more about the origin of the technology that the Venturi are using. That was good thinking on your part. Congratulations on making it through a difficult series. We should also like to extend our special thanks to Sturek for helping us act out the psychic powers of Alshaf in that scenario. The death of Alshaf brings an end to the main raiding force of the Venturi. You may have noticed as the scenarios progressed, the raiders became less communicative. That was no coincidence. Alshaf's mental control over his followers was increasing as time went on. It is possible that you will see Venturi raiders again. Not all of the raiders needed to be coerced to help their leader. Until then, you are dismissed.
Welcome, cadets. We're conducting an experiment in the Alpha Hercules system, using charged tachyon particles to increase the efficiency of a conventional warp drive. We set up the USS Hawking, an Oberth-class vessel, to perform the experiment, and we will need you to observe at close range and perform data analysis. That is all. Good luck. During the mission, a temporal counterpart of your ship was created. You destroyed it, resulting in your own destruction. In my opinion, not a very smart move. During this mission, the USS Hawking was destroyed. Without the USS Hawking, you could not recombine your ships, thus leaving yourself in two separate parts. Believe me, this is not a good state for a captain to be in. During this mission, your renegade counterpart of the USS Tempest destroyed the Klingon colony. Such tragedy could have been prevented, but you didn't.
Permission to speak freely, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. Forrester.
Why did you take things that were personal and use it against me?
Because, Mr. Forrester, we're trying to prepare you for what's out there, the unknown. There are things in space that will do everything they can to turn you into an emotional cripple. And if we have to tear open all wounds and rub a little salt in, we'll do it.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry, son. You did well. Just remember, we can't prepare you for everything, but we can certainly try. Dismissed.
For several years, we've been receiving subspace distress calls from the HIA system just outside of Gorn space. These signals seem to come from every known race in the quadrant, as well as several races we've never heard from before. We've tried answering these beacons, but have received no reply. Go to the HIA system and determine the source of these signals and hopefully stop them by solving any problems. Destroying the Gorn ship was a potential act of war. You let a strange vessel come in and gather a batch of unique creatures without even bothering to ask the ship what it was doing there. A good captain must have all information before acting, and in doing neither talking nor acting, you failed. You chose to attack or otherwise endanger a unique and possibly sentient race for your own amusement. By acceding to the wishes of the Gorn Harvester Captain, you have allowed the possible genocide of a near-intelligent species. By chasing off the Harvester and negotiating with the Gorn naval vessel, you showed both decisiveness and diplomacy. You have solved the mission in the best possible way. Congratulations.
Good morning, cadets. Federation intelligence indicates that the Klingons are building a new type of heavy cruiser, codenamed the Bertha. We have set up the simulator so you can fight it for yourself. To win the simulation, you must defeat it 3 times. On your first pass, you will have the help of a pair of Miranda-class cruisers. On your second pass, you will have a single Miranda. On your final pass, you will be on your own. Your goal is simple: disable or destroy the Bertha. You will be graded on your times as well as success. So get moving, cadets. Let me give you a quick lesson in starship engineering. No ship design has an even field of fire in all 3 dimensions. There will be weak points and strong points on each ship. Learn to identify your opponent's weak points and exploit them. Good morning, cadets. I bet some of you are wondering why I'm briefing you today. Let's just say that I find this simulation memorable. We've lost contact with the entire Aegis system that is home to the SETI Prime station. We can't scan the system because of the nearby Hyperion Nebula. Your mission is to find out what has happened. Good luck. The duty of the Starfleet captain is to investigate every option before he reacts. You were too hasty in destroying that Oberon before you knew what was at stake. Didn't you realize that there was a hostage on board McNeil's ship? Don't be so hasty next time, cadet. You let a known murderer and criminal get away with a Federation starship. Next time, show a little initiative in catching him, cadet. Did you think that McNeil wouldn't kill the warden? Well, next time, I hope you think again before doing your actions. Well, congratulations, Forrester. You've saved the galaxy from the likes of McNeil. I couldn't have done it better myself. Good job.
By now, everyone in this room is aware of the science lab incident and its unfortunate repercussions. However, I expect you to leave those troubles behind you. You'll have plenty to worry about here. Captain Kirk will now conduct the remainder of the briefing. Captain?
Thank you, Commander. The Klingon High Council has officially assured the Federation that Governor Kumas's actions were unauthorized. I'm told we actually believe them. The Klingons want Kumas to present an apology, and they want him to present it to the Federation ship that was involved since the beginning. You, of course. You're to go to Klingon Station K-28 on a diplomatic mission. As a diplomat and invited guest, you may not activate any of your defensive systems unless fired upon. Any violation of the diplomatic code will be considered a grave insult to the Klingon Empire. Of course, Kumas is not happy with the situation either, and will probably go out of his way to try and provoke an incident. So, be careful, cadets. You were given instructions by the Klingons on how they wanted you to behave in their territory. You failed to act in that manner. During this mission, you actually convinced a Romulan to help you out. Not bad, cadet. You have successfully completed the Klingon invasion scenario. A new governor has been installed in the Hanzar province, and everything is back to normal. In fact, rumor has it that Kumas is still being chased by the families of those who are on the Klingon advanced cruiser.
There has been an increase in piracy in the Stygia sector along the Klingon neutral zone. Your mission is to patrol the Cerberus, Charybdis, and Damocles systems. Above all, the Organian peace treaty must be maintained. So step carefully, cadet. Your actions broke the Organian peace treaty. As a result of this, both Starfleet and the Klingon Empire were crippled in this sector. You did manage to find the pirates' main base of operations. You did manage to find the pirates' main base of operations and destroy it. You managed to stop Kumas, who was leading the pirates. In this scenario, you are to go to Gamma 3 and pick up supplies of food and water to deliver to Meridian 4. Be careful, cadet. Gamma 3 lies close to the Klingon neutral zone. Good luck. You ignored the distress calls from the Kobayashi Maru. Why?
I couldn't start a war, sir. I had to weigh the crew of the Maru against millions of lives.
That's commendable, cadet. It still does not change your grade. but you should know that your reasons were honorable. That was quite an impressive show out there. I would be impressed, except that such a feat is not possible under our current parameters. Interesting. You have passed the Kobayashi Maru. Dismissed, cadets. You have failed to save the Kobayashi Maru. You have failed the scenario. Dismissed. There has been a disturbance on the Romulan Federation neutral zone. Several outposts set up to monitor the treaty zone have recently gone silent. Your mission is to check on Outposts 2 and 3 and investigate the cause of their problem. Please note that this scenario is based on an actual incident. To reflect that, the ship you will be flying in will be based on the specs for a Constitution-class vessel, stardate 1709. You let the Romulan escape. The Romulans' respect for us, and by letting them go, you showed a great weakness in front of an enemy. In the real world, that would have led to war. Congratulations. You have stopped the Romulan from getting home, and thus prevented war. Good job, cadet. Welcome, class. For the next few weeks, Commander Chekov will be your guest instructor. Commander?
Greetings, class. We have a very touchy situation to take care of here. 4 days ago, a lone vessel ventured into Romulan space and managed to steal a very important artifact. According to the Romulan government, they tracked the thief here to Federation space. The Romulans have sent an ambassador under a flag of truce to meet with you to search for this missing item. The Romulan ambassador will meet you outside the Kobayashi system, and from there, you are to go meet a man named Taros Greenlee. Rumor has it he can be found orbiting the first planet of the system. Good luck, cadets. And remember, try not to make the Romulan mad. You must work harder to keep your Romulan friend alive. Remember the old Russian proverb. Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. Cadet, you failed to get anything of value from Taros. Try again. And this time, don't give up so easily. You did not capture Captain Horn, but sometimes it is what you find during a meeting that can be of the most value. Don't be discouraged quite yet. You were supposed to get information from Taros Greenlee, not kill him. Next time, think before you phaser. Interesting. You received the information you needed to track the thief, but it was the Romulan who had to do all the work. Either you are a hopeless dreamer or a brilliant tactician. You found the information you needed to track down the thief. Good work. You're well on your way to becoming the captain of your own simulator. Have any of you ever seen a traditional Russian matrushka doll? They stack one within the other like a series of tiny puzzles. So here we have a second matrushka doll. As you well know, the Raven slipped away last time, and after your fun in the Regis system, Starfleet complained to both the Romulan and Klingon governments. They denied everything. Admiral Tennick went back to Romulus to find her own answers, and you've been assigned to a completely different mission. We have received a distress call from the Thaxius system, and you are to go and investigate. The Thaxius colonies broke away from the Federation several years ago and haven't been heard from until now. It is strange how this works, yes? Dolls within dolls. Cadet, what were you thinking? Remember that all life can be precious, no matter how insignificant or unintelligent it appears to be. You look surprised, Cadet. You must know you've passed. Captain Horn's plans to sell the artifact to the birds of prey have been foiled. Thaxius 1 and 2 have been bought a little more time as the Sun Serpent sleeps. The mystery deepens as we work from puzzle to puzzle, yes? All things must end, Cadet, and it seems the Sun Serpent has awakened from its sleep like the legendary phoenix, rising from the ashes. The good people of Thaxius 1 and Thaxius 2 cannot be evacuated in time, and there is only a few more days until the sun goes nova. Your mission, simply enough, is to find a solution to their problem. Ah yes, one more thing. Admiral Tenik has returned, as well as a Klingon ambassador, one whom you have met before. And now, all the components have been laid before you. Just lift up the last Matrushka top, and you will see the final doll before you. Or will you? You have failed the mission for a very simple reason. You never ignore ambassadors. This starts wars. You let Horn destroy the amplifiers, starting a war with the Romulans. You let her destroy a creature that might be the only one of its kind. Next time, weigh your options better before you act. You should also be proud that you were able to convince the Klingon to accompany you. Klingons are a stubborn lot, but generally very good to not have as enemies. Congratulations, Cadet! Not only did you capture Captain Horn, recovered the amplifier, stop a war between the Federation and Romulus, and save the lives of the people of Taxius 1, you also found the last Matrushka doll. Congratulations, Captain.
We have an interesting situation, cadets. Markai, a notorious smuggler, has uncovered information that is vital to Federation security. He's willing to exchange this information for a pardon. The Federation has decided to accept his offer. You are to meet Markai in the Lambda Triangular System and escort him to Starbase 31. Your primary objective in this scenario was to bring Markai to Starbase 31. He never arrived. Why on earth were you making a deal with Markai? He had already betrayed you once. Occasionally you will run into slime devils like Markai, but you never turn your back on them, and you never abandon them once you have the upper hand. Tractoring Markai all the way back to Starbase was an interesting maneuver, but unfortunately Markai was planning on stopping at a system along the way to retrieve a data package, data vital to his presentation. As a result, Starfleet blames you for the loss of this data, and you have been penalized. However, your caution in this case was definitely not without merit. You have succeeded in this little game of cat and mouse. Congratulations.
Your assignment is to meet a Federation ambassador at the Intergalactic Peace Conference on Asteria, serve as the ambassador's attaché, and help the Asterians deal with any problem that might occur. This scenario required you to find missing ships, determine the reason they did not make the rendezvous, and correct the situation. You failed to do these things correctly. Cadets, this was supposed to be a peace conference. The Asterians had done nothing to justify your attack. Since your ultimate goal was to attend the Asterian Peace Conference, and that conference did not happen, you failed the mission. Every ship has the right to defend themselves, but in this situation, there was a lot more going on than just combat. Destroying the ships was not the solution. This mission required you to at least get to Asteria. You didn't even reach the system. I am disappointed in you.
Good morning, cadets. We have a crisis on our hands. A small Klingon fleet has crossed the Federation border, composed of at least one heavy cruiser and 3 birds of prey. They have openly defied our treaty by destroying 3 Federation freighters, the last near New Danube 4. There are 2 Federation colonies in that sector as well, Omega Altair and Proxima. The Klingons deny any fleet action and are dismissing the reports as propaganda. Starfleet security thinks it may be a precursor to a larger invasion. The USS Alexandria and the USS Rutherford, 2 Miranda-class vessels, will rendezvous with you at New Danube 4 to conduct both patrol and intelligence missions. You will be in command of this task force. Use it wisely. Federation colonies need to depend on the Starfleet vessels for security. If we cannot protect them, Starfleet is worthless. Federation ships need to depend on Starfleet vessels for security. You were charged with responsibility in protecting the Caston in this scenario, and you failed. You successfully saved all the colonies and even took on the M5 computer and won. Congratulations.
Captain's log supplemental. The Klingons tracked down the McClanty ship and destroyed it. We'll never know if we could have communicated with McClanty. We've caused grave diplomatic problems for the Federation. Worst of all, I let down Captain Kirk. Well, time to head home and face the music. Captain's log supplemental. Klingon ships reached Karat 1 and used a powerful weapon to destroy the entire solar system, including Commander Vor's hospital and the McClanty. Now we'll never know if we could have communicated with them. Well, we have to head home now for reassignment. Captain's log, mission summary. By using the McClanty against the Klingons, we have touched off a diplomatic firestorm. The Klingons accuse us of using the McClanty as a superweapon. We saved the McClanty, but at a price of deepening the conflicts between the Federation and Empire. It would take nothing short of a massive world-threatening disaster to convince the Klingons to cooperate with the Federation again. Captain's log, mission summary. We succeeded in destroying the D7, but by using the McClanty against the Klingon ships, we increased tensions with the Klingon Empire. They're accusing us of using the McClanty as a Federation superweapon, but at least the McClanty and the Klingon colony are alive. Captain's log, mission summary. We succeeded in destroying the Klingon ships without involving the McClanty. We deepened the hostilities between the Federation and the Empire, but we saved the McClanty and kept them out of the Cold War between the Klingons and the Federation. Not bad for a day's work. Captain's log, mission summary. We succeeded in destroying the D7 without involving the McClanty. We saved the McClanty and kept them out of the tensions between the Klingons and the Federation. We also saved Commander Vor's hospital. Not bad.
Your mission is simple, cadets. You will take the science vessel Faraday to the uncharted Golgotha system and survey every planet and other objects therein, starting with the furthest planet out from the sun. After you have surveyed the sun for abnormalities, return to Starbase. You abandoned an entire race when effective action on your part could have saved thousands. This goes directly against the traditions of Starfleet. You ignored a major phenomenon even though you were on a scientific survey mission. As a result, thousands of people died. You continued with a routine survey when an occurrence of obvious importance had just taken place. This shows too much adherence to routine. You have been penalized for your actions, cadet. You did not appreciate the real problem nor come up with a solution until it was too late to save thousands of lives. You have not done well with this mission, even though you may have passed it. You may retake it if you wish. Not only did you not determine the proper solution for the problem at hand, but you made it worse by endangering ships that were not in danger from the second pulse. Disabling the drives of the endangered ships was clever, but it had two unfortunate results. First, it separated the refugees as the safe ones left for their eventual destination and the rest were left here. Second, the Federation must now take responsibility for the Sudarians, a primitive culture that has not even attained warp drive. You have not failed the mission because of this action, but you have been penalized. Your quick action and assessment of the real cause of the problem saved thousands of lives. You've done well, cadet.
This is a routine science mission to monitor the white dwarf Alpha Epsilon Tauri in the Palmyra Nebula. We've set up a transponder at the edge of the nebula, but periodically we must send starships to launch probes into the star. You've been assigned to perform this duty. Be careful, cadets. That is all. During this mission, you were ordered to investigate a series of Klingon attacks. You never discovered the reason for them. If this had been the prelude to an invasion, we would never have known. In this mission, you met a Klingon who asked you to kill him. You should have refused. It is not your duty to end the suffering of others by killing them. You have been penalized for your decisions. This mission required you to investigate a series of Klingon attacks. You encountered the Klingon responsible and destroyed him. However, you did not discover the reason for his attacks. If this had been the prelude to an invasion, we would never have known. Sometimes, cadets, information is more important than victory.
Good afternoon, cadets. Starfleet has been getting increased reports of Venturi raids in the Mukuru sector. You are to patrol the 5-star systems that make up this sector. The Nazambi, Nagero, Anansi, Eshu, and Ruhanga systems, and if possible, determine the pirates' base of operation to disable it. Starfleet recommends that you first contact Starbase 1317 in the Nagero system so that they can give more details on the situation and define a patrol route for you. Good luck.
Welcome, cadets. You will assist the Roma in an anti-piracy patrol in the Venturi sector. While most of the raiders have been dealt with, some are still active and we have stepped up patrols. Follow the instructions of Captain Trava of the Roma and patrol the Devan, Regent, Alden, and Halvan systems. Good hunting, captains. Your mission was to follow the mission instructions and any supplementary instructions of the captain of the Roma. Failing to do so means you have failed this mission. You have lost a major Federation ship, but you have rescued the crew and the operating codes. You have been penalized for this, but should still pass unless you made other errors. Your conduct unnecessarily endangered your ship, your friends, and possibly the Federation. You have failed the scenario because you have not acted according to the best precepts of Starfleet.
Good afternoon, cadets. Starfleet has detected an unexplained temporal phenomena in the Epsilon Lyra, Jovian, Neshrak, and Agra systems. You are to immediately proceed to the Epsilon Lyra system and investigate. If circumstances warrant, you are authorized to violate the Klingon neutral zone. But do not enter Klingon space without informing a starbase first. You'll be flying the USS Columbia. She's the first one of our new Excelsior-class ships, and she's named after one of mankind's earliest and most distinguished spacecraft. Do her proud, cadets. This mission required you to save a pair of stranded vessels from the future. While using a Klingon vessel to do this was innovative, it violates every principle that Starfleet represents. This mission required you to save a pair of stranded vessels from the future. This mission required you to save a pair of stranded vessels from the future. Despite these orders, you chose not to risk your crew and your ship and rejected the mission. Congratulations. It took a lot of guts to make that choice, especially here at the Academy, where commanders don't have to live with the consequences of their actions. It's often been said that the first duty of a captain is to his ship. This is not always true, but you chose to think that way in this case. You've received a small penalty for your choice, but I do applaud your courage. Though we gave you permission to cross into Klingon space, we did emphasize that you were only to do this if needed. Entering the neutral zone is a serious diplomatic violation and must only be done under the gravest situations. It can be considered an act of war. Your error is further compounded because you never needed to enter Klingon space. All operations could have been performed with less risk in Federation space and in the neutral zone. Because of this, you have been penalized for this action. Several merchant ships have disappeared on the run between Starbase 73 and Starbase 42. Both starbases are on the edge of Gorn space, and there are 3 relatively new colonies in the star systems between bases. We have made arrangements with the Gorn to patrol the systems, but so far the patrols have had no success. In the meantime, the colonies all need supplies, and many of the local merchants are unwilling to take cargoes to them. You have been chosen to lead a convoy. Besides your own ship, you will have the Constitution-class cruiser Musashi and the Miranda-class cruiser Rutherford as escorts. Good luck, cadets. You attacked a ship that applied to you for protection. Fortunately for you, it turned out to be an enemy vessel. You have been penalized for this action, but alone, it is not enough to fail the scenario. Discovering the true nature of the Quarles and removing her as a threat to the space lanes was very well done. You are to be congratulated. Discovering the true nature of the Quarles was very well done. It is unfortunate that she escaped, but her career as a commerce raider is over. I'm afraid you missed one important part of this mission. I can't tell you what it is, and it did not penalize you sufficiently to fail the mission. But perhaps if you take the scenario again, you will realize what is missing. You abandoned your convoy to chase after a possible pirate, working from a contact that was days old. You sent a major ship to hunt for pirates based on a report that was days old. You have been seriously penalized for endangering your command in this manner. It is a shame that you lost the Swift Talon while defending the convoy. This will make things awkward for our relationship with the Gorn. Well done. You managed to get your convoy to its destination with no losses to either merchants or your squadron.
There is a problem in the Gamma Denobus system, cadets, that requires your specific attention. Freighters are being attacked by Klingon and Romulan vessels. Gamma Denobus is, however, on the opposite side of the quadrant from those empires. The odds of Klingons and Romulans attacking there are, to put it mildly, rather improbable. Whatever attacked those ships, used a weapon that drained energy directly from their shields and engines. The weapon also burned out their dilithium crystal chambers. We're providing you with additional crystals for this mission to allow you to make repairs. Your primary mission is to find out who is responsible and to prevent any further attacks. Good luck. You destroyed the vessel that was draining the freighters, but failed to discover its true nature. Your solution reminded me of the great Russian statesman Alexander the Great, and his solution to the unsolvable Gordian knot. When confronted with this knot, he simply cut it in half, and then took over the known world. Simple, yes, but such simple solutions do not often work in our time. Discovering answers to a problem is more important than a brute force solution. In this scenario, a freighter was destroyed by your negligence. You must be more careful, cadet. The mission of Starfleet is to contact new life and new civilizations, not to kill them. You killed the Chimera. You failed this one badly. You failed to discover the nature of the creature that was affecting Federation shipping, your primary mission. You encountered a creature that was attacking Federation shipping. You failed to take it away to a safe location.